नमस्कार मंडळी, मी आनंद सरदेशमुख. माझ्या उद्योजकता आणि स्टार्टअप या चॅनलवर मी आपला सर्वांचं पुन्हा एकदा स्वागत करत आहे. यावेळेस सुद्धा मी एका फार चांगल्या आणि इंटरेस्टिंग अशा स्टार्टअप उद्योजिकेला इथे घेऊन आलेलो आहे आणि आज आपण तिच्याशी बोलणार आहोत. तर आणि ही जी स्टार्टअप उद्योजिका आहे ही टॉप 20 वुमन लेड स्टार्टअप एंटरप्रेन्योर वी वॉच इन तामिळनाडू असं तिला बक्षीस मिळालेलं आहे. इनोव्हेटर अगेन्स्ट कोविड म्हणून तिला हे बक्षीस मिळालेलं आहे. ही स्टार्टअप कॉम्पिटिशन कंडक्टेड बाय म्हणजे पंतप्रधानांच्या ऑफिसने त्याच्यात सुद्धा तिला बक्षीस मिळालेलं आहे आणि अनेक बाकीच्याही स्टार्टअप प्रतियोगितामध्ये कॉम्पिटिशन्समध्ये तिला अशी बक्षीस मिळालेले आहेत. आणि ही एक सिरियल एंटरप्रेन्योर आहे. जे सिरियल एंटरप्रेन्योर म्हणजे तिने एकच नाही तर एकाहून अनेक स्टार्टअप सुरू केलेले आहेत आणि ते यशस्वी चालवलेले आहेत. तर मंडळी, आज ही जी उद्योजिका आहे हिच्याशी आपण इंग्रजीत बोलणार आहोत, कारण ती इथली महाराष्ट्रातली नाही, ती आहे तामिळनाडू मधली आणि तिचं नाव आहे आरसी अरुण. सो आरसी, वेलकम टू माय मराठी चॅनल उद्योजकता आणि स्टार्टअप. And we're all eager to listen to you about your enterprise, your entrepreneurship, and your experiences, your challenges, and whatever you have done so far, and the series of enterprises which you have created. So let's start our discussion first with, I would like to know your profile, your family background, and your profile, and then I think we will proceed further.
Sure, sir. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to talk to Marathi people about startups. Pardon that I don't talk Marathi, but I'll continue in English so it can translate it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes. And so I was born, my father was a first generation doctor. And so before that, there was no one who completed or did a graduation in my family, both my mother's family and my father's family. But my father and his brothers were all excellent students. They were toppers. They were national toppers. They were state toppers when they were in their high school and masters. And even though my father is a doctor, he was better known in Tamil Nadu. He's better known in Tamil Nadu for his business acumen. And so coming from a personal house where they didn't even have a own house, my father, I could say, he built his own hospital, his own lab chains, and that was the first of all of South Asia. That was the first laboratory chain that was 35-40 years back. And so innovation and being first in a field was not new to me. I've seen my father do it. My grandfather was a very active writer and orator. My father's father. He was very, very involved in the freedom movement, in the Dravidian movement and all that. And so my father's house is filled with intellectuals. It's filled with people who read. We have more than 1,000 books in my house. And as a child, my brother and I, and my cousins as well, grew up reading books. Okay. We read a lot. And fortunately, my mother is also like that on my mother's side. They are from a business family. My mother's parents are also from a business family, both side her parents. And so business was something which we regularly talk in our dining tables. Some houses talk about movies, some houses talk about the weather or politics, but our house has always been, even if we were not involved, I've seen my grandfather and father, my uncles and my father, all of them talk about what happened. And so we kept hearing these things, what is profit, what is loss, what happened here, what happened there. And so when it was very obvious that I wanted to do business when I was doing my engineering. I didn't even like engineering. I don't know anything in engineering. Of course, like every other Indian, my parents told that I have to do engineering, and I went and I did.
But I think you did in computer
right? Science. Yes, I did computer science engineering, but But I was able to see the difference, sir. When I was doing engineering, I studied because I had to. But I wanted to do MBA always. And so when I got into my MBA in Loyola, Liba is one of the top MBA schools in India. And when I got into Liba, I excelled in Liba. I was able to top the class. I was able to do everything the best because I liked the subject.
Liba is Loyola Institute of Business
Administration. Yes.
Yeah, and that's one of the leading management
institutions. Yeah. And so when I was there, I could see the difference in myself when I was studying engineering and I was studying MBA. And so that is there. And so I think every parent should actually let the child choose and make them study what they want. But apart from it, and so I was in a business family, and so probably when I stepped into doing business, when I stepped into starting something of my own, I probably had.
But right from your childhood, you had this idea of doing something on your own, and you never thought of working. Okay.
Absolutely, I never had any intention to work. In fact, after college, I started in placement and I got placed in CTS. I was in CTS for 3 months, but I couldn't do it after 3 months. I put in my papers and I walked off. I told him this is not my cup of tea. I cannot sit and work. I cannot sit in a system and do coding for like 24/7. That is not me. And so I quit my job. And so when I started off on my own, I realized that I had 50 years of experience from my grandfather, my father, my uncle, all of them. All whatever they did wrong and whatever they did right, I was able to collect it from them and then implement it in the jobs which I was doing.
But theirs was a chain of pathological.
It was different businesses. My tata, my grandfather, my mom's appa had a sari shop. It was the biggest in his town. It was biggest in the whole of Tanjavur district.
Okay.
And then my father had a lab chain and a hospital polyclinic. And so everything is management now. So here you need to know the inventory, which one to buy. And so Diwali is coming in the month of October. They go for purchase in the month of March.
Right. Yeah.
Because they have to start making advertisements from September. Yeah. And so everything is, even though the businesses might be different, the concept is same. If in the lab, again we have inventory, you have chemicals, you have equipments. You have to see what is coming, what is going. And so even though the businesses vary, there are a lot of similar concepts which you can apply in all the businesses together. And so, yes. And during college and school, I used to go to my father's lab to work. And so we used to sit, I used to observe. And I was very lucky, I would say, because when I was in school and college, my father would send me with the bank's office wing, our office accountant, to the bank. And so we knew what to fill in the challans, we knew what to fill in the checkbook, we knew everything. We were learning. It was a learning process which happened throughout my college and school days. And so that was helpful. But then after finishing the 3 months stint in CTS, and then I worked in my father's laboratory for a year or so. I didn't get much of a salary in both the places. I had some money which I got as a salary in both the places. I started a wedding registry company. This was my first company.
What is that?
A wedding registry.
Oh, wedding registry. Okay.
Like, wedding registries are very famous in the US.
Right. Yeah.
It's still not caught up in India.
It is something like shadi.com or something like that?
No, sir. No. A wedding registry is, suppose say a person A and B are getting married and they are moving to a new house. They would go online, create a page. And this is something like Shopify, a pre-existing page, and they will add like, I want this fridge which is 30,000. I want a cot which is 50,000. I want this washing machine. I want this light. And so they will add things which they want to buy for the new house as a couple. And if you're going to, and if you have an idea of giving them a gift of 500 rupees, you go to the website and you say, I will pay 500 rupees for this bed. Okay. And so what happens is the 50,000 becomes 49,500.
Okay.
And so because what happens typically in our weddings, we get 10 wall clocks, we get 50 vases. And what do you do with 50 vases? You will go give a gift which was given to you 10 years back. you will still have rice cooker. There'll be 4 rice cookers at least in one wedding gift. And so to avoid all this, in US there is something called the wedding registry.
RC, I think you have given an excellent idea for a startup, right?
Sure, absolutely.
म्हणजे बघा, हे तुम्हाला स्टार्टअपची एक नवीन आयडिया RC ने दिलेली आहे, अत्यंत उपयुक्त, अत्यंत चांगली आणि अत्यंत सोयी. प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Yeah, sure. And so I started it way early, sir. I started it, I think, in 2006. And that time we didn't have Google Pay.
Okay.
We didn't have internet banking.
Mm-hmm.
And so imagine there is a wedding in Maharashtra in one town.
Mm-hmm.
And you are sitting here in Chennai and you want to do this company. And this couple, say the couple are working in Bombay, which is like the biggest city in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
How will you go collect the money from this person in the town for this couple here?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. I'm talking about 2006 when I started this.
Yeah,
but right now you have GPay.
Yes.
All you have to do is get the guest list from the couple and call up each of them and then tell them, listen, this is the couple's thing. And even in the wedding card, you can say, my wedding registry is this.
Okay.
Go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's as simple as that. Now the times have changed. I started this way ahead of our times.
Mm-hmm.
That time in India was not that advanced.
Yeah.
And so I tried for wedding, it didn't work. And then I tried for a small birthday party. Baby shower functions.
Yeah.
In Tamil Nadu, we have this baby shower function where they put bangles.
Yeah, yes.
So I tried for all those, but then what happened was the margin was very little.
Mm-hmm.
And so after 1.5 years, I closed down that company.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I want to say to any entrepreneur is, you need to understand and realize when to say it is enough is enough.
Yeah.
My company is going on a loss, I can't do it anymore. That should be a point when any entrepreneur should be able to accept defeat.
Right.
Because if they don't do it, then they are going to go into a pit, which they cannot come out from.
Yeah, I think you should you should test the failure pretty fast in your career, and having tested that, you should have the courage to accept that yes, you have failed and move on. Different. Yeah.
That's the first thing which I learned, and when I realized it's not happening, I stopped my company and I went into a little bit of depression. I didn't know what to do. This was in 2007, and a friend of mine was getting married, and then she told me, Arasi, I want to go to school and give the invitation to our sisters. I was in a convent. I was in a girls' convent, and so I went to the school with her to give the wedding invitation. And my principal was asking me, what are you girls doing now and all that. And so I told my principal, you actually mistreated me. I was the last bencher in school. And you never gave me any opportunities to go on stage. You never gave me opportunity to be the class leader. You always gave opportunity to the first 10 ranked girls. I was the last bencher. I was getting just pass marks. And so you never gave me opportunities. And then she told me, and then I told her, but right now I started a company of my own. Even if it's a failure, I've done something to prove who I am. But my classmates who got first rank,
what is that failure you learned from this first experiment? Was it the market was not ready for this concept, or this was something?
Yes, absolutely. One thing what I learned is I was too soon for the market. See, I never had an idea that something called UPI will come in the future. I just realized, sir, I don't know about Maharashtra and the Marathis culture, but in Tamil Nadu, giving the gift, the wedding gift itself is a big function.
Yeah.
There'll be a guy in the villages, there'll be a guy who's sitting with a mic set and he will say like, this guy gave this much rupees.
Yeah, that's true. It happens in rural Maharashtra.
Yes. It happens in rural Tamil Nadu also. That's a big deal to give the wedding gifts. And so imagine doing it online or paying it off and not going there without a gift. And so what happened, each time we had a different experience. And so what we did was, we said we'll give you a small gift box. Because people are asking me, okay, I'll pay you now, but I can't go on the stage and with the empty hand. I need to have a gift. And so we told them, we'll give you a small gift. I was like, why do I have to carry a small big gift box? So there were a lot of these questions, and I think we were way too ahead when we started, or
Okay.
I was way too ahead when I started the business.
A friend of mine, he also started something, and it was not in India but in United States, and there a lot of gift coupons are exchanged,
Yes,
and
yes.
many people don't utilize the gift coupons and all that, and what they would like to encash that. So this startup was encashing those gift coupons. You collect the gift coupons, and then you either trade or give the money in exchange of that. So something similar. Yeah.
True. And so that is what I learned. And then I told my principal that, listen, I was a backbencher. I was a very average student, and you guys mistreated me. But here I am. I've started a business of my own. I have something proud to be of. But the girl who got the first rank, she just got married, and she's like, not when she quit her medical college because to get married. She was the first rank girl, and she topped my school when we were in 12th. And so the sister said, why don't you give this speech to the schoolgirls? They'll be inspired. And so I told my principal, that's fine, but pay me 500 rupees for my time. And that's how my second venture and one of my most successful venture, Chisel, started off.
Okay.
And
What
so
is that? What is the name?
Chisel.
Chisel. Okay. Chisel.
Yeah, the one where we shape and sculpt the people.
हा, ते छन्नी ज्याला आपण म्हणतो की त्याने आपण काही कोरीव काम करतो किंवा काही करतो. Chisel. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. And so I started Chisel, and then I went back to my school again after a week, and I spoke to the 12th standard girls about like being a woman, being a backbencher, being an average student doesn't mean your life is ending, because I know how school treats you and how school spotlight you, but you have a lot of future. It's just your dedication and your discipline which will help you become what you want to become. And so after the speech, a lot of girls approached me, and then I realized, without any investment, with my talent of talking, I could have a business, and that is in personality development. And then what I did, I started reading books, I started talking to other trainers, and then I worked for 3 months because I have internet, there's some system in my house, I didn't spend any money. I created a lot of curriculum for a personality development class. And then I went and I sat with my professors. I went and I sat with my college was very good. My engineering college teachers were very good. I had an amazing communication teachers there. And so with all of them, I sat, I reviewed my documents, and I started doing personality development. I went to rural colleges. I went to engineering colleges and taught the final year students how to attend interview, how to give interview, how to do group discussion, how to be personally pleasing. And so I did all those, and I started making money.
Yeah.
And so
I think many people, there are many who do something like this, but I think they haven't thought of giving some format of a commercial venture to this entire program. They just go deliver the lecture, collect something, and come back. But I think what you did is that you gave a commercial format to your activity, right?
Absolutely.
How did you do that?
Sure, sir. And so I realized if I want this to be a successful business model, then, and if I wanted to scale, I could be a single person, be a single trainer, and then do this till my lifelong.
Yeah.
But I didn't want that. I wanted a scalable model. I wanted something which could be replicated. I wanted to be like Tata. So my father usually tells me that, like, listen, Tata is not everywhere, but Tata company is in whole of India. He doesn't come and sit in Tata CTS, or he doesn't sit in Tata Steels or in any other place. But everything is functioning very well because you create a system like that so that everything runs on its own.
Yeah.
And so that is what I wanted to do, and that is how I planned Chisel. And so when I planned my curriculum, I made sure that anyone who comes in can teach. Any person can be inclusive. This can be an inclusive subject for any kind of student, be it an art student, be it an engineering student. This has nothing to do with the subject they do, but rather than the personality they have. And so with all this in mind, I created the curriculum so that it could be replicated, so that it needn't have me to train every single student. It could be just given to you, and you could take the book and you could train 10 people. And so I sat and I created that kind of a module which could be multiplied, which could be replicated.
Okay.
And that's how it became very successful. I got a set of final college students who passed out of college and who entered into IT companies from Bangalore, who started working with me part-time.
Okay.
And so every week ends, they will go to the colleges which I've made a tie-up with. They will go teach there, and I will pay them part and I'll take them part. And so at one point of time, I stopped teaching.
Okay.
I started hiring people who could follow my curriculum and go teach in lot of places in whole of South, like say in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. And then I was getting money sitting in Chennai, Aram's sake.
Okay.
So this is the first part of my entrepreneur journey.
Not really Aram se. There's a lot of management involved in this,
Yes.
Organizing everything,
Absolutely.
preparing the curriculum and, taking care of everything.
So this also, I have a lot of sad story in this one too, sir. Maybe we could talk it in the next part.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. I think, Arsi, shall we stop here for this
Yes, sir.
episode?
Yes, sir. We will.
And I'm thankful to you for having joined me today on this my YouTube channel, Udyog Udyojakata and Startup. We will definitely continue with your story, which is, I think, a big story has yet to come. And
Yes, sir. Absolutely. The bomb is there. Yeah.
I would like to keep that suspense, because that's the startup which I feel is very interesting, very innovative, and I think there is a need of the hour, embedded in that. So we will take that in our next episode. Thank you very much, and we will again meet.